Drill it, baby, drill it. Guyana oil deal sweet. Pump it, baby, pump it. Guyana oil giving way cheap. Take it away and store it till world market price go up. Then you throw back and you laugh because you don't pay Guyana off. When we get the news that they found oil, all Guyanese hearts was filled with joy. Some even predicted another Dubai. But how we leaders dealt with it make me cry. Civil servant salary could have doubled. Senior citizen pension quadruple. COVID relief 200,000. What they give to we blow out like nothing. This is not about politics, but them bad deal got to fix. We taking a lot of licks, more US dollars in the mix. Drill it, baby, drill it. Guyana oil deal sweet. Pump it, baby, pump it. Guyana oil giving way cheap. Take it away and store it till world market price go up. Then you throw back and you laugh because you don't pay Guyana off. We must hold our leaders accountable. Let them know they are responsible for the wars I'll deal in the world. When I think about it, my blood does boil. We must stop this stupidity or we'll end up in poverty. I call on all Guyanese to show solidarity. Guyana, time to unite and do what is right. Demand better oil deals. This is a national appeal. Drill it, baby, drill it. Guyana oil deal sweet. Pump it, baby, pump it. Guyana oil giving way cheap. Take it away and store it till world market price go up. Then you throw back and you laugh because you don't pay Guyana off.
Is everything right?
Good evening and welcome to the Lall Show where we tell it as it is. My name is Michaela Prince. I will be tonight's moderator, and for those who are new to the show, or just a reminder, this is a show that is aired every Monday, Wednesday and Friday where we expose all of the things that the leaders of the land don't want you to know. Tonight's discussion is going to be focused on our natural resources and the giveaway of it, and we have Mr. Lall, the publisher of Kaieteur News, who will give you an in-depth presentation on that. Over to you, Mr. Lall.
Thank you, Michaela. Good night, guys. Good night, Guyana. Old people say you plant the garden what you want to grow. You want beautiful flowers, you have to plant beautiful seeds. You want an honest and beautiful life, you elect honest and caring leaders. That's what the old people word means. Them old people also say, you tell the truth, it becomes part of the past. When you tell lies, it becomes part of your future. I love old people. I love to listen to them because their words are full of wisdom. What do you say, Bernard? Old people, beautiful words. Always good to listen to them because they have lived life and they would have had experiences me and you will never be able to understand. I love them. So, good night to you all, Guyana. It has been the talk over the weekend how Kaieteur News have to pay the former president, Donald Ramotar, $20 million because one of our judges, Justice Navindra Singh, find that what we said in the newspaper about him on the Kaieteur and Kanji oil blocks, we could not justify or defend. That's fine. I have no problem with that. None whatsoever with the judge's decision. The only thing I'm a bit disappointed about is the amount he awarded to Mr. Ramotar. This amount is the highest ever awarded in Guyana to date on a libel case. Like I said, I will appeal his decision even if I have to beg lawyers or beg for some cash, which I don't believe I have to take this matter to the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice. I will take it there. I have every confidence that I will come out victorious. You know, we ended up with a case at the CCJ some years ago in which Justice Rishi Prasad awarded $4.5 million to a doctor named Walter Ramsahai. We had appealed that matter to the High Court, and the High Court ruled that the $4.5 million Justice Rishi Prasad awarded was not enough and raised it from 4.5 to $15 million. Was 3 judges. One didn't agree with the amount, but the 2 others ruled. That is how we ended up at the CCJ. The lawyer who helped us was a man named Sanjeev Dattadin. I have to tell you the story because I never forget it. It was me, the lawyer, and Adam Harris went to Trinidad. When we walked in the courtroom in Port of Spain for that trial, Guyana, and I saw the amount of lawyers representing Dr. Ramsahai, I nearly dropped dead. I was thinking to pay the $15 million right away because if them raise it to $300 million there, I would have to shut down the Kaieteur News. I even asked Walter Ramsahai in the courtroom before the case started if he going to accept a settlement now, and he said yes, he going to accept $250 million. I don't want to tell you what was going through my mind when I heard him said he would settle for $250 million. I'm on the radio. If I meet you privately, I could tell you what was going through my mind when he said that. His lawyers alone full up the courtroom. One of them was a senior counsel and the former Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. I never forget his name, Mr. Ram Logan. I was thinking how Sanjeev Dattadin alone gonna battle himself with all these lawyers that come in to defend Dr. Walter Ramsahai. To be truthful, I got scared. But when my lawyer, Sanjeev Dattadin, addressed the 5 judges, I became happy sitting in that courtroom. Man, he did a splendid job. And guess what? He has never even charged me a cent for that case. But let me tell you, after the back and forth with both sides, the judges called the goodly Dr. Ramsahoi to the stand and began questioning him. The 5 judges asked Dr. Ramsahoi some questions that taught me a lot about libel and judgments. Here is what the first question, the head judge of the court asked him. The judge said, Dr. Ramsahoi, did you suffer any pain? The answer was no. The next question was whether he lost any friends because of the things that was said in the newspaper. He again said no. Did you lose any sleep over the article? And again, the answer was a resounding no. One judge asked him, did you lose any patience? Dr. Ramsahoi think, and then said, no, Your Honor, I don't think so. Then came the big question about whether he suffered any loss of income. He stood there for a while as the court watched him and asked again, Dr. Ramsahoi, please answer the question whether you lose money or not. He watched the judges. Dung his head, raised it up back, and then said, no, he didn't lose any money. He was asked a few more questions before the court adjourned for later in the afternoon to give their decision, to give their verdict. When the judges came out back and sat in their chairs, Dr. Walter Ramsahoi was nowhere to be seen in the courtroom. I think he smelled a rat and disappeared. The head judge of the court, in his summing up, noted that the 4.5 million awarded was the highest in the history of the region. And further, there was the issue of the Guyana economy. The judge said that the awards, any awards, should reflect the nature of the economy. The CCJ threw out that $15 million judgment and ordered that the original 4.5 million stand. They also ordered Dr. Ramsahoi to pay us all the legal fees and costs that we endured going there to Trinidad. He jumped on the 3 o'clock flight and came home back to Guyana without waiting to hear that judgment from the 5 judges. Guess what happened the next day? He went to the court and collected that money that was lodged there. He died and never paid us a cent. I pray that our Creator bless his soul and allow him to enjoy the money, whether he have it there or if he had spent it here. Brothers and sisters, it's right there I want Donald Ramotar, because I know I will get that humongous 20 million amount reduced. I accept that we were unable to prove the case, but 20 million, man, it's ridiculous. I will not be using the same words. I want you to listen carefully, guys. I will not be using the same words that we had in the newspapers on the 2 oil blocks that led Ramotar to sue me again. I am not going to do that. But I have to tell you that story. And let me tell you guys good night again. Growing up in Wakenham, I was never a good storyteller. And if you ask me how I ended up in the newspaper and radio business, telling such sweet and factual stories, I don't know. Sorry. Not all are factual. We do make mistakes 1 and 2 times, but we always apologize if we are wrong. However, when we feel strongly about an issue, I am ready to climb any mountain, any court steps, or even go to heaven or hell to fight it. And that's just me, Glenn Lall. I would fight for justice, and I'll fight for people's right, especially mine. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to go anywhere. So here we go. Here, part of the story, because there is plenty more to be said about these 2 oil blocks that would take me a year to speak on, even if I speak 24 hours a day on the Kaieteur and Kanji giveaway. I don't think the majority of Guyanese know the full extent of what Ramotar and Robert Prasad did with it. I believe that y'all need to know what transpired with them, so you can draw your own conclusion as to what happened with these 2 oil blocks that are worth billions of American dollars. You need to know. You need to know how it was awarded, to whom it was awarded to, and what we, the Guyanese people, get out of it. Yes, we, the owners of the Kaieteur and Kanji oil blocks, what we got out of it. We need to know what we got. What we got out of it. You know, right now they're producing oil out there from the Starbuck block. And I am fed up repeating this thing. There is nothing we getting out there but money to buy a little mango. Guys, the first thing you need to know is that the Kaieteur was awarded 7 weeks before the 2015 elections. And the Kanji was awarded 4 days. 4 days before the same 2015 elections. Ex-President Ramotar tell the nation how the companies apply since 2012 and 2013. But he waited years to award them. Just before the 2015 elections, when Guyana voted him out. I believe I will go to my grave and believe he didn't know he was going out. So he just do his thing. What do you think, Michaela? What do you think? They know the thing. You know, there was no competitive bidding at all. He did not put the 2 oil blocks in the open market for sale so that the big players can bid on them. The man never asked around to see how much them oil blocks valued. No, them didn't do that. Them didn't Google and see how oil blocks are being sold. Them didn't even Google to see the worth of the oil blocks. No, them didn't. He just signed them away free. You hear that? Signed them away free. Let me ask you, If you find a big piece of something looking like a diamond, what would you do? Trust me. Trust me, you're going to go to the jewelry store and find out how much this thing worth. You will do exactly that. You find a piece of jewelry, or you know you found a piece of diamond. You will go and find out the cost. You wouldn't do like a junkie and go and accept anything for it. No. No, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't accept anything. You will not take anything, Guyana. Nothing. You will not just give away these things. You will not give away it for free. So wait. Let me ask. We had a junkie for president? Make he say he give away these 2 oil blocks for free? You guys tell me, man. I really don't think so. These 2 oil blocks are now estimated to hold billions of barrels of oil. Kanji alone, them say got 10 billion barrel, while Kaieteur got another 2.1 billion barrels of oil. Guys, these blocks alone worth 600 billion American dollars. If we are to use a market value of $50 per barrel, had we make some money from those 2 oil blocks, if we gotten that 600 billion, Guyana would have been already like Dubai. Just with that 2 little oil blocks alone. And I am not talking about the Stabroek block. They announced 10, then they announced another 10, and they will announce 100 or 300 billion of barrels to come. You will see for yourself. We are not far away. They are already saying that they are going to drill 16 more wells by next year. Only 3 or 4 they drilled so far, and we already get 10 billion. You can see when they drill the other 12, we may very well end up to 200-300 barrels. Man, we could have been the best on planet Earth by now if we had sold them 3 for a reasonable share. But we are where we are because the best decisions were not made by the peoples who we trusted to run this land, to make decisions for us. Now, let me tell you who get them. Listen carefully. The Kanji block was given to a local company. The local company had an agreement with a Canadian company to share the oil block years before they even get it. You hear me? They call it pre-licensed farming. How could you farm in a block in 2014 when you didn't even get the oil block yet? Meaning, how can you buy into something with a man and he ain't even own it or got it yet? Huh? Marky Molly, could you answer the question?
I can't.
Huh? How could you buy something? Man, this thing is unthinkable what's happening in this land. Man, you merely have to have supernatural power to know 1 year in advance that Lall will be the owner of Venezuela oil fields, to approach Glenn and buy a portion of it. You definitely gotta have supernatural power to know that. And that's what happened in the Kanji oil block. Maybe, just maybe, that Canadian company also has supernatural powers. Foresee in advance that President Ramotar and Minister Robert Prasad was going to give them the company, would have give them the Kaieteur oil block, make these people buy in. What you say, guys? Or you think it was arranged? I don't know. Or you think it planned? Me no, man. I don't know. You guys can answer that? That's a hard one for me. I've been busting my head for years now to understand this thing, and I can't. I wish I went to the same university what these guys been to, man, for make these type of deals. Here it is. The Kanji oil block is sitting in deep water. And these two companies, what get them? Them didn't even have the experience. Them didn't even had the money or any track record to operate them. In short, them never do this work before. You hear me, guys? Never did this work before. It's only a handful of oil giants in this world have what it takes to handle and operate these type of oil blocks. And this is what happened. It land in them hand. Sometimes I just want to laugh when I hear these things. Guyana, it's like you give a 3-year-old a walk for climb a tall coconut tree and pick out the mangoes. You think he can make it? The kid can hardly walk up a step, and you giving he a coconut tree for climb. That is what the ex-president Ramotar and Robert Prasad wants us to believe. It's the same thing, guys, happened with the Kaieteur oil block. That one was given to two companies, and when we check, them and all ain't got the experience, the money for take on such a project. It's beyond them. But guess what? These people ain't even duck their hands in the Atlantic Ocean where the two oil blocks there. But them don't start selling out the shares to other companies. What Guyana get, guys? Kimal, you get anything? Nothing. We get nothing. Nothing. We ain't even get a signing bonus. No capital gains taxes. Not even money to buy some cackabelly fish from them. Isn't this a beautiful country with lovely leaders, James? This got to be the best country to live in, man. Or maybe it's the best country to be in the government. We have very smart leaders running this country. But hold on, Guyana. Is not only the PPP government alone involved, is both governments pulling this stunt on us. The Granger government approved every transfer of the shares in the Kanji and Kaieteur oil blocks to foreign companies. Gosh, let me tell you guys, if it wasn't for that transfer, they would have had to sell it here. And Guyana could have collect at least little taxes. Instead, them allow it to go overseas. And now the foreign people selling and the overseas countries are benefiting from taxes. So you don't get nothing. You send away the thing, and this is what happened. One set of leaders give it away for free, and then the other set, the coalition, approved the transfer for it to be sold overseas. Wow, man. They sold a big portion of the Kaieteur and Kanji block to ExxonMobil alone. How much billions they collected, we don't know. We don't know. What we get? Can anybody tell me? Can David Granger or Joseph Harmon or Trotman, Patterson, Carl Greenidge tell us? Can Ramotar, Robert Prasad or Jagdev tell us? Can anybody tell us? Michaela, can you tell us something? What did you get?
Nothing.
Kimo?
I haven't gotten anything.
Man, this is not I pass Guyana. This is something else. And guess what they're doing with the other portion that remains? It is still being sold right now as I speak. But ask yourselves, what me and you getting? What Guyana is getting? Nothing. Imagine these people still want you and me to believe that they give it away for free. We got to be a set of morons and idiots to believe that Nancy story. Or them believe we're a set of junkies. I want to believe they believe that we are a set of junkies living in this country. They want us to believe that them not involved with nothing. They want us to believe that them ain't get a something. They want us to believe that they were not involved in any deal. They want us to believe that they're innocent. They want us to believe that they acted in the best interests of Guyana. They did. Right, Kimo? They did. The people making billions with your oil blocks, our oil blocks, and you're struggling to put a biscuit in your children's lunch kit or a proper meal on your table. That's how much these leaders love Guyana. That's how much these guys love me and you, including the lawyers, the doctors, the professionals, the accountants, and the judges of this country. Yeah. Hear what former President Ramotar said when asked why he signed away the Kaieteur and Kanji oil blocks weeks and days before the 2015 elections. He said he had a few files sitting on his desk and wanted to clean the table. He said he acted on the advice of the former Minister of Natural Resources, Robert M. Prasad, and just signed them off. Yes, that's what he did. That's what he said. Just sign them off. When Robert Prasad was asked, he said he didn't sign, Ramotar did. He said he only acted as a bridge between GGMC and President Ramotar. You hear that, guys? He was the man at the Harbour Bridge, crossing over maybe from Berbice to Demerara or from Georgetown to West Demerara. And he wasn't a minister then. He was the man operating the bridge. He actually telling us the paper from GGMC to President Ramotar only travel on the bridge. That's according to he. He didn't play a role. Maybe that's what he means. What you say? What you say, brothers and sisters? What you say, man? I'm not hearing you guys. I don't want you guys to laugh only, man. Robert said, he never know. You got to hear this piece. Robert Prasad said he never knew. See or meet the people who get the oil blocks. He only meets the lawyers who sign on behalf of those people who get the oil blocks. The lawyers, he said the lawyers sign on behalf of them. When asked who are the lawyers, this is what he said. He know them, but he can't remember the names. 2 oil blocks worth billions of US dollars. 2 oil blocks that could have lifted Guyana and the whole region into a bigger Dubai disappear. Disappear. And those are the words coming from their mouths. This is how much they love Guyana. You and me, guys. But when they lose the elections in 2015, the same Robert Prasad and some more of them run away to live overseas, to live America. The elections come and the PPP come back in office. And guess what? Robert Prasad is sitting down at the Foreign Affairs Ministry quietly, making more deals to sell out more of Guyana. I only hope this time he remembers the names of who he will be making more deals with on our resources. Pray for him. You got to pray for them, Guyana. I already doing that. And I'm praying for him. A special prayer for him alone. Hear more. I am not done. I wanted to take some calls, but I'm not going to done. The PNC and the AFC, when they went in, they started an investigation on the 2 oil blocks. And during that investigation, the course of the investigation, one of the lead investigators, we found his name on an application for another oil block, Block C. When we reported that story, President Granger sent him off. Wow. It's like you putting cat for watch milk. Or you're putting cat for bring back milk. That investigation was stopped. And the little information they would have gathered, maybe tucked away in somebody's socks or wardrobe, because Guyana never saw it. I wanted to see it, and they kept it under some secret vault. But I'll tell you guys this. You can lock away things and you can hide things. And they don't hide and lock away for too long. It's in my possession. That investigation report is in my possession. It's in our possession. We have it here. Isn't this beautiful Guyana? It's a beautiful place. We have beautiful leaders. I hope the Creator bless y'all. For 5 years, the PPP was out of office. Listen this. And you didn't hear a word about our oil blocks. Nothing they were saying. But when they come back into office, the first thing the Vice President says, Dr. Jagdeo, at his press conference, how he ain't see no corruption. He ain't see no wrongdoings in the oil blocks. Maybe he needs a break from politics, or somebody needs to check his head, because something is definitely wrong with him. To say that he ain't see no wrongdoings or no corruption in the giveaway of our oil blocks. You know, an African professor named Patrick Lumumba said that people try to rationalize corruption when they know exactly what it is. He said, if you're driving and give police money to avoid going to court, it's petty corruption. But the bigger corruption does happen up in the public office where people using it for private gain. He said, in many African countries, they pretend to know and embrace things that undermine their very survival as Africans. Does this sound familiar to Guyanese? Isn't this the same thing some of us pretend not to see in our high offices? Guys, yes, we pretend not to see those things. The man even said that African countries, they spend money and create a set of institutions, don't intend to do anything with them. This is Guyana the man talking about. Let me give you some examples. They set up the ERC, spending hundreds of millions of dollars. But what are we getting from it? Think about it. They set up SARA and SOKU to investigate corruption, but still nobody ain't getting charged. We got the Public Accounts Committee set up in Parliament to look over what government agencies and government departments and ministers, how they're spending me money. And it's useless. You hear nothing. You get nothing out of them. Now, please pay attention. The professor said that many of the African countries sign on to the United Nations Convention against corruption. These are things demanding transparency. The man said that they sign on to these things, but don't believe in them because they're still corrupt. This is the spitting image of Guyana. It is sickening what's going on here, guys. The man also said that they corrupt the entire political system. And as long as that is happening, a country can never be free from corruption. Man, I think he should come and speak to our leaders. They need to hear him. But I don't know, maybe you got to ask yourself if you think our leaders of this land will ever want to see people like he around, much as listen to him. He said most African countries got this problem with corruption, and that is why they remain poor. Guys, Guyana is already on that road, heading in the same direction. The man said they have a lot. He said they have a bunch of thieves in charge of their resources. When he said that, I had to laugh. And I feel he needs to ask Guyana. He needs to add Guyana to the list of countries he's talking about. Because it's definitely everything that man said about Africa and those African countries is taking place right here. Right here. He said that one of the most dangerous things in Africa is say you're going to fight against corruption, even if you're the president. He said when you do that, they try to shut you up and get rid of you. He said people pay heavy money and other perks just to silence you. I spot no lies with what this man is saying. I have suffered many ways during my lifetime in this newspaper business. They bomb my press. killed my employees, threw grenade at my vehicle, and even took away state ads from the newspaper. Me ain't even start for talk about all of them who just try to silence the newspaper in the courts with all them lawsuits. I don't want to go there. Among many other things them do, the African professor said, is they have just turned corruption into race and politics. The man said if one person from one race get arrested for corruption, them gonna say that he is a thief, but he is a wee thief. And a we like him. We not care he's a thief. Is a we people. He said in the case of politics, when one member or a supporter get arrested from their party, it's the same thing. It's a we party people. It's okay with them. It's okay if he thief. We like them. And we will fight for them. Basically, the professor saying, he's trying to say that they make the people think nothing is wrong with them thieving for their race or their party. But guys, what they're doing, the thieving they're going on with, is not for the party or the race. Is they're fooling themselves, filling their pockets for themselves. He said that for corruption to stop, you need to stop pushing blame from one political side to another. If you're found guilty of corruption, you should be charged in accordance with the law. That's what the man said. And I couldn't agree with this man more. Many of them are found here in this country. And when they are charged and placed before the court, the case are being dismissed. We had a few of them before the courts. And as soon as this government gone in back, they dropped the charges. So that's where we are, guys. I'm going to stop to give you a chance to take your comments and your calls.
Thank you for that presentation, Mr. Lall. We are going to take a very short commercial break, and when we return, we will continue the discussion right here on The Glenn Lall Show. Thank you for joining us. And if you are now tuning in, you are listening to The Glenn Lall Show right here on Kaieteur Radio. We are discussing a highly debatable controversial giveaway with the Kaieteur and the Kanji blocks.
Perfect.
And I just want to ask you, Mr. Lall, and I believe we have somebody in studio who would like to ask a question. If you want to go ahead, that's fine.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Lall. Mm-hmm. My question to you, I would like for you to elaborate a little more so that the people will fully understand the amount of wealth those 2 oil blocks carried, so they could get a grasp of the money that we're talking about that was given away. Our wealth, the country wealth, the people of this country wealth. Expand a little more for me.
Thank you, James. James, like I said, I give a figure, 600 million, if we were to use $50 per barrel, right? And that's the kind of money we lose, 600 billion. For years now, let me put it more simple. For years now, our debt is just over 2 billion, 2 single figure billion. That's our debt from donkey years to now. You understand what I'm saying? It's like we got $2 billion debt, for years now, and we give away 600 billion. That could take us into a new generation. That's the kind of wealth we give away just with that 2 oil blocks.
Glenn, I have some figures from what Total paid Apache for 50% of the oil block that Apache has in Suriname. They paid them $5 billion for the 50% for carrying on with appraisal and development activities. They gave Apache a $100 million signing bonus. Right? And that is for only a 1.4 million acres out there. The Kaieteur and Kanji blocks are both over a million acres also. And Apache and Total, which is the French oil company, paid $5 billion for the 50% share to work in block. And they paid him $100 million for that.
You hear that? You understand what
And that is only
there?
50%.
He said that Total, an oil company, paid Suriname.
No, Apache.
Apache paid Suriname $5 billion.
No, they didn't pay Suriname. They paid Apache.
They paid Apache.
Who has the
Yeah.
So we don't know how much. It's around the same figure that Exxon would pay to get into.
No, they
Kaieteur.
can't be the same figure.
No.
Because, no, I'll tell you why.
It's in the billions.
Because the Suriname block 58, right? Is 58 or 52?
Block 58.
Block 58 is way small, is 1.4 million acres. And the Kaieteur and the Kanji oil block total.
A lot more.
No, I think it's 6.6.
6.6 is the one that the big oil block Exxon has.
That's Stabroek.
Stabroek is 6.6
6
million acres.
But both
Right?
the Kaieteur and
So
Kanji.
one second, had we sold Stabroek, right? Stabroek block, we would have gotten almost 20 billion American dollars already. We were able to pay out with $2 billion debt we have, that we are paying interest on, and still have 18 billion in the bank account right now. Wow. That's beside the royalty, profit sharing, and interest in the blocks. The Kaieteur and Kanji oil blocks, I'll get back to it. Could you check the acreage for me? So that, because the nation needs to understand the kind of money we lose out on that right now. Yes,
One other quick thing, Len. Did the head of GGMC recommend to Ramata that the Kaieteur and Kanji blocks go for auction after Shell, Total, and probably Repsol was at least said 3 or 4 oil companies once it.
Precisely.
And he recommended that they go for auction.
Correct.
So
And
why did
correct? Wait, let me say. The man said he recommended that. GGMC had recommended that to the government.
Henderson, yeah.
And 2 years, the man didn't get back a response from the government. Right? What that tells you? That Robert and Donald them just take the paper and just dump it in the garbage. We will do it the way we see fit. You understand? So you see the games that these leaders playing with us, and this is what our brothers and sisters out there needs to understand. This is a low-lying officer, the head of the GGMC, wrote to the government and said, brothers, he is recommending that we put these oil blocks in the open market for it to be sold. Auction. The man said, we have him on record, say he has never gotten back a response from the minister who was Robert Prasad at the time. So we're going to check the acreage and give you an estimated figure as to what we lost. But I kept telling you that we could have been Dubai already with just that 2 oil blocks, with the little people we have here. All of us, none of you guys should have been living in a shack. You should have been living in a mansion, driving a Mercedes Benz by now. Yeah. Had we dealt with our oil blocks in a decent, professional, honest way, but it wasn't.
So the acreage, Mr. Lall, for the 2 blocks for Kaieteur, it's 3.3 million acres.
Wow.
And Kanji, it's 1.1 about right now.
So between the two is 4.5 million acres.
Mm-hmm.
And Suriname,
1.4
million get $5 billion plus $100 million signing bonus. So you're talking about 3 times, 4 times. We should have collected $20 billion on that block alone. if you juxtapose, if you bring Suriname takings into what they get as to what we should have gotten. So we should have not gotten any debt by now. We should have had so many billions in the account. But your vice president come on the radio and was laughingly say, "Oh, are we bank now got? If you take all the bank together, we ain't even got $2 billion." This is what these economists and smart leaders you have telling us. We don't got that, so we ain't got money to invest in the oil block.
We get billions
You see?
of dollars and we can't get a loan.
And this is the kind of nonsense, the kind of crap you're hearing from our leaders. See if you get any telephone call. We need a ticket.
Yes, we. Hi, you're on to the Glen Lall Show. Hello?
Good night. Hello?
Yes.
Hi, good night.
Hi, good night. I got two questions.
Yeah.
One, what's the difference between the two Kaieteur blocks that give to me and man before the court presently give the land that he gave away to me still? And the next question is, I'm going to continue after here. The next question is, so Glenn, what do you say that Ramatar affiliated to the people in the court? Yes or no?
Sir, before we answer, could you repeat your first question a bit more clearly? Caller? Okay, the second question he had asked was whether you think Mr. Ramatar is affiliated with probably the persons in the court who brought the action against you.
No. I don't want to comment on that. The judges, I believe, are independent, and I believe that all judges should be independent, and they should not be listening to directives from anybody. No.
Well, it was, okay. Then.
Unless don't get to that. These things have.
You dropped the one already. You don't play the one up.
Yeah.
The one with iron block. With Ramatar and Prasad. What's the difference between the block that gave away and the man for presently giving away Nissan land?
Man, I'm not hearing you clear. Could you go slowly?
The man personally given away the same land. What's the difference between what's the Ramatar officer giving away the iron blocks and the man for this giving away the same land right now?
Man, it's in the same boat they are. Whether they give away a 10 acre, 5 acre, or 50 acre, or a million acres. They're just doing the wrong things to us, man. They're taking away a good life from every citizen of this country, bro. When they do things like that. When they do it in secret. Yeah.
Okay, we lost that caller. I just wanted to say, Mr. Lall, because we're on this topic of the question of taking away from the people of Guyana by illicit means. And you talked about Africa before, and I wanted to mention something from a story I wrote recently that talked about how if people were not stealing from Africa, Africa would not need to borrow any money at all. And I feel, well, that's clearly the situation that we would also face in Guyana.
Yes.
A UN agency did a report that showed that Africa's debt is about $700-something billion combined. Mm-hmm. But the illicit financial flows, the money being taken from Africa by illegal means, amounts to more than $800 billion.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know. It's so sad.
So these countries that they call third world countries, they're in this position because of the abuse, Guyana and Africa, that they're getting from people who seek to rob them of their wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that, Kimal. I believe. Oh, we just lost the caller.
Kimal. These players, these oil players,
Mm-hmm.
they are known to corrupt leaders around the world, and that's what we find ourselves in. They are known to corrupt leaders around the world.
Hi, good evening. You're on to Kaieteur Radio.
And that's what.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
Mr. Lall, do you think any of the politicians or the leaders in this country will ever come on the show to challenge you and to answer questions? Do you think that will happen in the next year, 2 years, 5 years? Thank you.
Well, I don't want them to come and challenge. I want them to if they're going to come and they want to come to dispute anything that I have said so far in the many programs I would have had, I would love them to come. I love to sit there. But other than that, I would love them to come here on this program, not only the leaders of this land. I would like the oil players who are out there. I want them to come too, because I have so many questions to ask them. Because corruption doesn't begin on one hand. It's two hands it takes to bring about corruption. One is give, and one is take. So I would like to have this frank discussion with all of them, anybody. I'm inviting any one of them. Please come on board.
We have another caller on the line. Good evening, caller on to Kaieteur Radio.
Yes, good evening to Mr. Glenn Lall and his team there, man, for his good work. Just a little question. These IFACs or the acres that give away, is any way that Guyana could recover back them or get any benefit out from it?
That's a beautiful question. Yes, I think if we stand as a group, as a body, we can demand from them, man. We can demand from them. However, if it's a done deal, let's say it's a done deal. There are lots more to which we can claw back, we can draw back from them when they begin the process of production. Because we, like I said many times, we are the gatekeeper for them. We have to issue permits and license to them. And we can use those permits, we can delay those licenses and demand a better deal. So yes, there is room for us to claw back and draw back billions, but is our leader up to it? And I'll give you an example. ExxonMobil third project Payara. We could have hold back that license that was issued to them just a few months ago, but the vice president and our government didn't see it fit to hold the license, to demand insurance for Liza 1, Liza 2, and the Payara. Our government went and grant that license without having insurance. They grant that license without even checking that plan, that $9 billion they threw at us, the bill that they threw at us. They went and hired a Canadian woman to come and review our project. $9 billion. Man, they didn't even take a guy to sit down. They didn't even say, Glenn Lall, listen, come and look at this thing. You got a little mathematics head. Come and look at what these people giving us. Right? Nobody, that document, to study that document, no group can done it in less than a year. But guess what? The Canadian done them in 6 weeks, and Jack Davis issued the license.
Did he give it to the people though? Has he released the report?
You hear me, guys? Jack Davis issued the license, give them. And more is coming on, with many more billions. And listen, oh my God, this thing is so sickening. What's going on in this land, bro? Brothers and sisters, you guys have to wake up, man. You gotta wake up.
Glenn, Vince Adams said that Exxon is doing to Guyana what it cannot do in its own country, the USA.
Yeah.
He said when the American government says to Exxon to jump, the Exxon would ask how high. But in Guyana, he said when Exxon says jump, our government asks how high.
How high?
And it seems that despite what our VP says, that Guyana is like Exxon sex worker who they treat with utmost disrespect and disregard, and then throw comes at us and expect us to be satisfied. What do you think?
Well, Exxon can do any and everything in the U.S. because they can't bribe no government agencies there in the U.S. So they have to toe the line. They have to abide by all the rules and regulations and standards, be it in the environmental agencies or every other sector. But Guyana, nothing. The flaring that's going on here, they anticipated this. They know this. Jan Mangal said that today. Jan Mangal said, Exxon know that they will be flaring in advance. And because there's nothing else to do. They can't sell the gas. They're waiting for these idiots here to buy the gas. So they have to flare the gas. So they knew in advance that they would flare. So all these games that they're playing is just different words and phrases and gimmicks they're coming up with. Compressor down, compressor going back to Germany. One part breakdown again.
They cannot push out, inject all the gas going.
Brothers and sisters, they cannot use the gas back in at the bottom. Yes.
We have no callers on the line, Mr. Lall, but we are cutting down to the final minutes of the show. So I would like.
Go on a little thing.
Okay, I suppose we can go
We're
on
not
for a
taking calls.
few other minutes.
Too many people calling in, and the phone lines are jammed up.
Okay, let me just remind the listeners and the viewers that you can call us on 226-7453, or you can send us a text or a WhatsApp on 622-2222. We have another question?
Yeah, this is my question. Why is it our leaders are not trying to do something about this here? That's what's going on right now. I mean, they're seeing, they're hearing all these things. Why ain't nobody trying to do something about it? These are the people that we elect or we select a government to make a difference for us. Why are they not standing up on our behalf? That's the question I'm asking.
You know, I've been saying this thing over and over. They're not only taking action. You're not hearing a word. These leaders are like they're in coma. You remember Joseph Harmon, the leader of the opposition. 4 months passed, and then he finally come out and said, well, Patterson, they don't talk to the press. They're all silent. And like they're not working for us. Like Mr. Bernard just said, there are in the US, they're asking how high to jump. In Guyana, Guyana is asking how high should I jump? So nobody is working on our behalf. And this thing is getting sickening day by day. This is why we all have to expose.
We have a caller on the line. Hi, good evening. I'm to Kaieteur Radio.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on to the Glenn Lall show.
Speaking. Go ahead.
Yeah, I believe the whole thing that Mr. Lall is talking about, the government, both PDP and should be jailed, every one of them.
I agree with you.
They should be honestly jailed. This is incompetence and corruption to the highest, and they're all in it. Thank you.
Thank you. The man understand what's going on. The people understand. I am meeting people.
Hi, good evening. I'm to Kaieteur Radio.
Yes. Turn down your radio, please.
You know who owns this country? You know who runs the country?
Huh?
You know who runs this country?
Well, the PPP government running the country by now.
You don't know.
You're breaking up, man.
I believe it was Jim Jones.
What is it? We're not hearing you too clear. We're not hearing you clear, man. We're not hearing you clear. We just hear you ask who's running the country. It's the PPP government that is running the country. And the president is Dr. Irfan Ali.
Kaieteur Radio.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, the guy he was saying is like Jim Jones running the country. Yeah. Anyhow, Mr. Lall.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was listening to you about the court case that you were talking about. But I think, and how you decide to handle it. I noticed you calm as you were talking, and you don't look worried. But what I think about this case that you trying to challenge, I think is an ant nest. Them by is digging up. According to what I am hearing, you are saying. And everything that you are talking about Guyana resources, I can remember, I think, a couple of weeks back, I was telling you that I think they were trying to stop you. All out.
Yeah,
They were trying to stop you from letting the public know about the oil and all of Guyana wealth. How you're explaining that it is what is happening to these things. And I see that it is coming to light. They wanted to stop you from enlightening the public. Look,
I wouldn't want to say that. This Ramatar case was a case since a few years now. It was sitting. It just happened to come up now, and the judge made his decision. So I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to bring that and give a false impression as to they're using these things. No, this case has been going on since I think 2016 or 2016 or 2017, somewhere around there, and it came up now and they tried.
Okay, look at this.
But on what you said just now, that they would try to silence me. I have said it many times, man. No, they can't. They can't. No, you can't shut a good man mouth.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
I like how you're fighting like a lion, courageous.
Thank you.
Look at this. I know to myself all that you are saying. I know that you are right. I cannot say that I think you are right. That means I am not sure.
That's right, but you know.
Right? It's like if I say if there is an oil spill.
Yeah, you got to make it a little quick, man. We want to give
Exxon.
Wait. You got to make it quick. We want the questions, man. We
It's like if I say, I think if there is an oil spill, I think Exxon would clean up the mess. But I am not sure. What will make me sure is that it has to be written in black and white. You understand?
I hear you.
So, again, I want to thank you for educating the public about our resources and all the things that these ones are trying to do with the deal. It's jiggery poke. Thank you.
Welcome. Guys, I would like to hear some of your questions.
I think more or less what the guy was just now more or less saying to you, right, is that explain to them if we get an oil spill, the danger that we face as a people.
Yeah, but I think I've been talking too much.
Yeah, but this is what he
spill.
say. Just a
We
little.
have no insurance.
Okay, well, that's
we're in great danger.
Okay.
We are in great danger. We are in danger. Our leaders, children and grandchildren are also in great danger. And like they don't give a damn. Because had they care, I think our leaders are only looking out for themselves for today and for tomorrow and for them and for their lifetime. They're not even worrying about the danger and the indebtedness they are putting on our children and grandchildren to come. It's a great danger we face. You know, it's like you have a house and you don't insure that house. What do you think will happen to your children and grandchildren? Where are they going to go live if a fire take it? That's how simple I can put it.
Hi, good evening. On to Kaieteur Radio.
Yeah, Glenn, you know who run this country?
Yeah, but let's don't get to that, man. We're dealing with the issues, bro. Let's get some questions.
What the issue, right? Jim Jones run this country.
All right.
You hear?
Yeah, I hear you. You got any question?
No, because all the time you think because guys, 90% them are straight your cars.
All right. Thank you. Guys, if you want to call in, we are sitting here and we would love to help you with your questions. You know, things that you're not certain with, or you think you didn't get it. You know, let's hear you. Because when I come off the air, my phone keep ringing. I want you guys to call here and let's hear you.
Hi, good evening. On to Kaieteur Radio.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Good night to the hard-working Kaieteur team.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm calling from countryside, Riven area.
Yes, go ahead. Talk to us.
Isn't there like this international organization that can help us in this position that we are in right now presently?
Wow, that's a beautiful question. Yes, they are. There are lawyers that can help, but we have to bring them from overseas, and it's a lot of money to bring them. Myself and a few friends are still contemplating how we can go about doing that. But there is a way out, but we need to take it to the courts. We need to take it to the international courts. Okay. And we can, because it's a one-sided, lopsided contract. And I think the international courts can look back at what our leaders signed, and maybe we can even get our leaders in court to let them go before the court and justify their actions and their signing off and signing away. But like I said, it's going to cost a lot of money because these international lawyers are asking for money in pounds, and it's not an easy task unless we can garner that money. No, we can't. We wouldn't be getting anywhere. Thanks for your interest, though.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Lall. I was listening to your program since you started late last year, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Yeah. So Bernard, it's tough. I've been talking to many lawyers, and I said, Glenn, the thing is about money. We want to take the case on. We want to challenge this thing, and it can be challenged because many countries, they didn't have to go to court. Like Trinidad and Tobago, the PM called BP and said, "No, sit down." And the BP head asked the Prime Minister, "Sir, did we do anything wrong?" The Prime Minister told him, "No." Sir, did we break the law?" The man said, "No." He said, "You get a team and let me put my team to sit at the table and talk." And the man said, "Any contract," and this is his exact words, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, exact words, the man said, "Any contract that benefits one side only is not a contract." And they were able to sit quickly and renegotiate and get a better deal.
Hi, good evening. On to Kaieteur Radio.
Yes, I want to make a second contribution, please.
Thank you. Go right ahead.
I think Mr. Lall is talking about the scarcity of funds, and he should set up a Kaieteur News a fund.
I don't think I can do that.
And the second thing is, yes, you can do that. You can do that. You are an organization. The law can permit you to do this. And I think the law can permit you to do this. And the second thing is, you got to start you got to start trying to get people affronted by having rallies and.
Yes, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But, you know, everybody keeps saying protest and rally.
No. You are not protesting in any sense. You're having rallies to discuss these issues.
Oh, then I gotta find the time to go there.
Well, everybody, you start something. You got to. Why you start something, then you can't finish it.
I'm doing it on the radio.
Yeah, but you got to go bigger than this. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. People sit down in their house in comfort and talk what they want.
Oh, buddy, I just want to tell you guys what I know.
Yeah, but then you start something, and we will support you, man.
Yeah, but you got to use your phone.
No. You got the organization already. People got a farming organization. There are many people thinking about many things in Guyana. Not only about oil, many things. Thank you.
I hear you. The gentleman, he made a good point, but sorry, you need to understand that I can only do so much. I have a newspaper, I have a radio to run. I can't go out and hold a rally and speak to 10 people. I am here on the radio. You can help by pitching in with your piece to call your neighbors, call your friends, call them in Berbice, call them in Esquibo, call them in Georgetown, call around, let them listen. I can be better here, reaching the entire country. I am doing it through the newspapers. There's only so much I can do.
If the oil companies in Suriname can pay billions of dollars for part of a blocker, and they could afford to pay the 6.25% royalty and the 36% tax and still make a profit, and they're willing to invest billions to get a piece of that, why can't they do the same in Guyana? Wouldn't the oil companies want to invest in Guyana also? We have light sweet crude also. Why wouldn't they do that?
Yeah, we have the best, brother. But you need to understand that our leaders sell us out. That's what you guys need to understand. They sell us out. And the people of Guyana needs to understand that. They sell out our transported property, our transported wealth. And again, I'm talking this, the OMA is back in Guyana, and we yet cannot see the contract that the government signed with them. We don't know what we're getting. So people need to understand the leaders you have, who they're working with and who they're working for. They're not working in the best interest of the people. Had they been doing that, they would have come on the radio. You don't have to be ashamed to come on the radio. You don't have to be ashamed to hide the OMI contract and the rest of the contracts. So you got to read through the line and see what's playing out. It's sickening.
All right, thank you
Yes.
for that, Mr. Lall. We did extend our show tonight, so I would just like to ask you for your closing comments on tonight's show.
Michaela, I just want to say to all Guyana, to all of you, you got to stand up and fight for your share. Stop sleeping in your rocking chair. If not, if you behave like if you don't care, trust me, you will continue to live in fear and in hunger. A very good night to you all, and God bless you all.